What's going on, family? You're watching To All the Crowded Rooms. I'm your host, Dan Solitro, and we're here to give you an album review. My first album review of this whole segment is going to be King Krule's Man Alive, which actually came out a few weeks ago in February, and it's an album that I've been listening to a lot lately. For those who may be unaware, King Krule was actually born Archie Ivan Marshall in the Southwark district of London in 1994. Before he took that moniker, King Krule, he originally started releasing music under the name Zoo Kid, and in 2013 he released his debut album under the King Krule moniker called 6 Feet Beneath the Moon. Then in 2015, he released A New Place to Drown under Archie Marshall, and then from 2017 on, he released The Ooze and Man Alive, his newest record, as King Krule. An actual real fun fact. For a while, I actually thought he was named after King K. Rool from the Donkey Kong Country games. You know, the really huge alligator who wrecks everyone in Smash Bros. Now. But no, he got his name from an Elvis Presley movie, actually called King Creole. So, yeah, really surprised by it. But I've been talking about this guy for a little bit, so let's actually get into the album. Now, you're probably thinking, Dan, what kind of music does this guy play? Well, King Krule's music blends elements of punk, jazz, hip-hop, darkwave, psychedelia, art rock, all to really form this one really cohesive, just like atmospheric, hazy, dark vibe to his music, which has actually just been like a signature that he's known for. And he does a fantastic job on this album building that atmosphere with a couple standout tracks that really resonated with me. Supermarché, Stoned Again, Alone Omen 3, and Don't Let the Dragon Drag On, which is actually a reference to Adventure Time, so look it up. A lot of the album relies heavily on building this foreboding atmosphere, which really resonates with me. I love artists who really use a atmospheric tone in their music and really puts you in like a really dark environment. I'm always a sucker for that kind of stuff. Such tracks like Cellular, the first track on the record, actually showcase this with actually some really deeper subject matter. The song is actually about losing connections with your loved ones and losing connection to the outside world, actually giving the listener a sense of Marshall's world just falling apart around him and losing touch with his loved ones, which is really just something we can all relate to. There are also other songs that deal with many other human conditions as well. For example, Archie explains how in the song Supermarché, one of my personal favorites, which is actually supermarket in French, how the media can really just infiltrate anything and influence an individual or a group of individuals to believe in something. He actually had this idea from overhearing a lot of conversations in supermarkets and with some of the lyrics dealing with the coping of anxiety and depression. Lyrics that actually stood out to me was bleeding into the brains of your cat, small fish, dog. He's describing it really as how we may come to use some of these coping methods on some of our trusted companions that we've grown attachments to when we don't really have people to really turn to, and that hits for some people. Really does. It really could just hit for some people. Throughout the album, we actually find tracks that focus a lot on the yearning of simpler times, especially in the song Stoned Again, dealing with depression in your home from Don't Let the Dragon Drag On. And at one point, it gets a bit happier. As happy as Marshall really could get with a darker tone in an album like this with the subject matter. The track that really stood out to me the most on this album was actually Alone Omen 3. It finds Marshall in a more optimistic light. And a lyric that really stood out to me came in the beginning of the second verse. He sings, "Throw a stone, see it land, forget its flight." Although this could be interpreted in many different ways, especially on Rap Genius, I believe Marshall just wants the listener to find a new place to be happy while not really worrying about the means that took place to get to where you want to be. And in that verse, Marshall just assures the audience that he wants them to be happy and wants them to know that they're free to do what they wish with their lives, and no matter what they do, they should just always find happiness in everything. Overall, like the rest of Marshall's work, both lyrics and music go hand in hand to create really, really strong experience that leaves an impression and stays with you long after the album concludes. Unlike his previous release, which was The Ooze in 2017, this album is actually much more accessible and digestible than before, and it shows us an album that finds Marshall more at peace and with an optimistic view of the world. So that was a review. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, share it up, and also drop a comment below and let us know who you want to hear us review and talk about on the channel next. Sandalitro out.
The ghost they put aside, but don't forget you're not alone. Sometimes you're straight.